Hey everybody, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to place for tech tutorials made simple. In today's video, we are diving into Vultr, a powerful cloud computing platform that makes it easy to deploy high-performance cloud servers around the world in just a few clicks. Whether you're a developer, a small business owner, or just getting started with cloud infrastructure, Vultr offers scalable and cost-effective solutions you can launch in minutes, no complicated setup required. So let's begin. Now, the first thing that you need to do, visit the official website of Vultr. Now, here, you have an option to create an account using the following: GitHub, Google, if you click on the sign up button. So it makes the account creation a lot easier. If you choose to use your Google account, what will happen is you will be forwarded here. The main homepage of the Vultr platform. Now, the dashboard right here is going to be the central hub for your Vultr account. So you have the overview of your resources, if you have any active servers, your network like BGP, Direct Connect, DNS, firewall, reserve IPs, VPC 2.0, and VPC networks. So we're going to just discuss all of them. Now, the BGP, if you have that, it's basically the BGP, or the Border Gateway Protocol, is used to announce your own IP address space, your own IP blocks from Vultr's infrastructure. So it's really good for businesses with their own ASN, or autonomous system number. Okay, so you can get started by clicking on this button right here if you want, so that you can improve routing flexibility and failover. But you need to provide the information for the payment account. So if you don't want that, go back again to the dashboard. We're gonna click on the Direct Connect, which is gonna be a dedicated private network connection between your on-premise infrastructure and Vultr's data centers. So basically, it's ideal for hybrid cloud setups or sensitive data transfer. Now, the DNS is essentially the domain name system. So you can manage records here. Like, for example, if you want to add a domain, you need to provide the domain name, custom IP address, which is going to be like your free DNS hosting for domains you control. It's a fast, global DNS propagation with low latency resolvers. Obviously, the firewall refers to the setup network, rules to control traffic to and from your Vultr instances. So you need to click the add firewall group. You want to make sure at this point that you have an access level to these. If you don't have, you might want to ask your administrator or your client to give you access. Okay, click on the add firewall group. So what will happen is it will create rules for IPv4, all right, which gives you HTTP or block SSH. So the good thing about it is that it doesn't track connections. So both inbound and outbound rules must be set manually if needed. All right. So the reserve IPs refer to the static IP addresses that can be reassigned between instances within the same region. Now, if you click the add reserve IP, you can use this for high availability or failover systems. You can choose the location: Amsterdam, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and check the label. If you want to add that, you need to keep the same IP even if the underlying server changes, which is kind of useful for load balances or public facing services. If you're not familiar with the reserve IP, let's skip that. Let's focus on the VPC 2.0, or the Virtual Private Cloud 2.0. It's going to be the isolated private networks that allow your instances to communicate internally, all right, without using any public IPs. And the VPC networks is going to be your management console of all your VPCs, or virtual private networks. So you can create, delete VPCs, or even assign servers to private subnets. You can control traffic within your infrastructure securely and efficiently using this VPC network. That's for the products, all right? Now, for the account itself, it's going to be a section for you to provide all of the information needed right here. Okay, so if you don't want that, you need to get some preferences if you want it. For example, if you want to use the dark mode, update profile, and that's going to be, it'll take effect. All right. Of course, the payment is if you wanted to utilize and unlock the hidden features of Vultr. Okay. Now, we've skipped the products, but essentially, this is where all your deployed infrastructure lives. You have the dedicated CPU, cloud GPU, shared CPU, and the bare metal. So you have compute instances, you have your virtual machines, cloud servers right here, you have additional volumes attached to servers, distribute traffic between instances. Of course, you can create, manage, and restart, snapshot, or delete products from here. You can also have the option to configure software, but it requires a subscription plan. All right. Now, on the top right corner is going to be the deploy plus. You see that there's going to be the deploy new server. If you want to deploy a server, you need to choose from any of the following: a dedicated CPU, a cloud GPU, which focuses on the fractional or full GPUs for AI, a shared CPU if you want that. Okay, so, and of course, the next is going to be the bare metal. Basically, bare metal is a single tenant bare metal for apps with the most demanding performance or security requirements. So, you have the memory of 32 GB and storage of 240. That's going to be the default. You see, you have multiple options here. For example, if you want to use any of the following, it corresponds to a specific price point. Now, if you choose this, that's going to be like $120 per month, which is like 0.6164 hours. All right. So the price is highly dependent on the server that you wanted. Same thing with a dedicated CPU. It's a lot like cheaper because, for example, if you're working with this, it's $96. With the cloud GPU for 10 terabyte, you have like $31. All right. And of course, I think pricing accordingly depends on your preferences, needs, and goals. Okay. Now, having said all of that, and that's a wrap on our video in using Vultr, the cloud computing platform that gives you powerful and scalable infrastructure without the complexity. So, if you are a developer, a startup, or even just cloud curious, Vultr is definitely worth checking out. It's simple, fast, and surprisingly affordable. While it might not have the massive ecosystem of AWS or Google Cloud, what it does really well. Have you used Vultr before? Or are you planning to try it after watching this video? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials just like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again in the next video.